Hello and welcome to Jordan's Journey Journal. My name is Jordan. Today is the second episode because I just chose to do two because I was like, I'm really feeling it. And honestly, I wanted to write one for yesterday for my birthday, but luckily I was too busy. And that is exactly what we're going to talk about today: friends and family. And ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's get into it with you, dude. What family and friends mean to me. What family and friends mean to me, they mean the world, because without them I would be literally in a ball curled, making sure that I'm taking my pills and not cocktails, always picking me up when I happen to fail. This one goes out to all of you, because without you in my life, I don't know what I would do. I've been through a lot of shit over almost the past 5 years, had some good times with all of you, taking shot and drinking beers. But through that, there were salty, salty tears, reason to give up not only on my projects but on life, reason to stay in the dark and not look for the light. But it was because of all of you that got me through. Again, without any of your help, I don't know where I'd be, and more importantly, what I would do. Through hospitals and rehab and my inner demons wanting me to tear off my own fucking head, you saved my life and made sure that I'm not in a grave, or worse, that I'm not dead. You make life worth living when I can't live with myself. So a cheers to my life on my 24th trip around the sun. A cheers that from here it's going to be fun. A cheers to good friends, family, and to all of our better health. Because without you, I don't know where I would be, but I'm glad I have you and you see me well. Together, the future is so bright that I can't see. And I'm happy that at 24, there's no place that I'd rather be. Friendship and family is golden. That's why I choose to be one to you. That's why I was chosen. That's why I'm your dude. And now, a very quick poem about the same topic. Jordan, I know you like rapping, but don't stop it. Rest easy, young space samurai. Though the times get tough, the sword is not the only thing by your side. Look left and look right. As you face the dark night, you have arrived at a hostel that is filled with spirits raised high. You know everyone in this place. And when you cheers, I hope a smile comes across your face. Sorry. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm really pissed off because my last one that I posted earlier today, hopefully, did not record half of the video, a lot of the video. So I'm gonna make sure that this one records because I actually like the video segment now. Anyway, moving on forward. Excuse me for 2 seconds. All right, welcome back, and let's do a double clap. Hello, and welcome to Jordan's Journey Journal, the video segment of this. Remember to, if you enjoyed it, by the way, donate. All the stuff is down in the description. Patreon, Venmo, Cash App, anything you can throw. It could be 1 cent to $1,002. Homeboy needs it. Because, as I said in my last one, paycheck was $38.40 this week. It's tough out here for a homeboy, but it doesn't really matter too much. I know that I enjoy doing this. I know that one day someone will see it, someone will get out there, and someone will vibe for it, and someone will choose to help their boy out, help the dude. But that's not really the biggest thing on my mind right now. The biggest thing on my mind is actually how I made it to 24 years old, and how the concept of only 24 rotations around the sun is such a short amount of time, and even 100 is a short amount of time. But that's how old I am, and how, you know, even though the beginning of my life was fairly easy or normal, I would guess, that the end of it, not the end of it, or the most current segment, the most current chapters of it, have been very hard. But as my friend Sarah kind of said, she was like, you've been doing a lot, and I see 24 as a very good year for you. You know, 23 was kind of the intermission transition from bad to good. You went through a whole lot of dog shit in the beginning, but just as you were cresting at the end, just as you were getting out of rehab and all that kind of stuff, you actually turned over the new leaf. You became better. And I am happy to say that I feel better. I feel good about everything that I've done and accomplished, and things that I'm going to accomplish in the future. I know that God, or the universe, or in both actually, has my back every single step of the way. No matter if I trip or fall, I will be okay as Jay. So, at any rate, as the sun shines a little bit brighter, I hope that you remember that I have to smoke on my cigarette lighter. So, my USB stick, as my friend Kevin says. So, yeah, excuse me for 2 seconds. But I do really enjoy doing this. This is what I would want to do. Because, like I said, Casey Neistat did it with vlogs, but the thing is the attitude. You know, it's not necessarily look at this great place that I'm in, look at this space that I own. It's more of look at the story that I'm trying to tell you. This is a journal from my head to your home. So, yeah, I hope you like my poems. They're for someone out there. Kiki, Moshimi, the same person, it doesn't matter. I write about my daughter Lily, my son Xavier, even if they're in the astral. They'll come out with a splatter, in a good way, by the way. I hope to God that I get to see them one day. And that their names don't change, you know? Oh, God. The future is bright, and that is what I'm excited about. Today was a great example because in the beginning it was raining, but now it's sunny out. It looks amazing outside, even though it's a little bit chilly. You know, fall's coming in strong, but it's staying, so just stay with me. Winter does suck, but spring is my favorite season because it means that life is being reborn. It's the cycle. It's just how you just have to do it. You heard? So, yeah, I go through my cycles. I have my seasons, but now I have a very good reason. I feel like I finally found my place. I feel like I'm finally cemented, or at least the cement is settling a little bit more. I feel like I'm finding my rhythm and my tone. I feel like I'm not necessarily using myself like a whore. And that's a very bad word that I'm not going to try to use too much. But let me try to explain what I'm saying. I'm not trying to just produce and just throw up. I actually just want to do something that makes me happy, that doesn't put too much stress on my life. I want to do 1,000,002 of these a day and not even get any sleep at night. Because at the end of the day, I have to say, if I actually do get the van that's less than this size, you better bet your damn ass that you better donate, because you'll see your guy. Again, with the ability to travel, you'll see the Chuck's crew, you'll see everybody. We'll throw jank tanks and it'll be over, buddy. So, yeah. Life is great if you believe in the guy that believes in you. And I'm not trying to, pyramid scheme it, but a pyramid might do. Why? Because it's pretty cool if you really think about it. How an ancient civilization, by themselves, supposedly, built that shit. But all it took was one dude to say, I want to make a monument. I want to make something great. And for me, that's my art. That's why for death, I do indeed wait. I don't try to, bide my time. I don't try to, wait it out. What I'm trying to do is live life to the fullest, and that's no doubt. I'm trying to make sure that you guys know your boy's going to be here for a hot second. As you said always, if cigarettes or God doesn't kill me, I'm going to fucking wreck it. Anyway, let's go again. I love rhyme. I love lyrical poetry. I love this kind of shit. It is my shit. Oh my God. It just allows me to zimwa. It allows me to breathe air. Really? Why? Zimwa. Anyway. Guys, I think we're going to transition to the Patreon special. It's a little bit early. We haven't hit 10 minutes yet, but it's a little bit early. But we're going to transition to the Patreon special. This is your second one for the day, by the way. So, if I don't post tomorrow, I'll post this one tomorrow. But it's all good. 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 So remember, ladies and gentlemen, please feel free to donate. cashapp, Venmo, notdudes on both. And then Patreon down below. The special is for you and you alone. It's not going to be free every day of the week, but occasionally, if it's a good one, we'll just see. And eventually, there will be more things. There'll be meetups, but Corona is like a hard wedding ring, meaning that it's pretty tied down right now. So maybe not necessarily a meetup, but maybe a video chat or something. I don't know how. Maybe we just kind of want to vibe and talk. I love to do interviews and get to know about people's lives. I'm still kind of figuring it out, but at least right now, just support your motherfucking guy. And remember, the world is a crazy place. It's on fire, but you love it even more. Why? Because the ashes are the root, or where the roots take place for new trees and floors and flowers. Fauna and flora. Anyway, what I'm trying to say with that last statement is, in my mind, and I've said this before, I don't know if I'm going to post the episode that I said it in, but I'll say it again. Karma and karmic bending and the karmic. My friend Lauren calls it karmic cash out. I call it karmic comeuppance, or we'll call it the karmic cash out because I can't remember what I usually call it. I call it karmic bending. 2020 was like stretching the rubber band so far in the negative direction. All it takes is one positive hit like this, and then boop, and then the rubber band is so much farther than it was if it was just like a normal year like that. I'm betting on that. That's what I believe in. I believe in all of this dog shit. Death, destruction, the world on fire, and everything is for the greater good. For some reason. Whether we as humans realize it or not. The birds are telling me right now, preach, king, preach. And I'm like, every day of the week. Every day of the week. They're like, I love this shit. And I'm like, and I love this shit too. So anyway, the Patreon special is for the dudes. And why? Because we're not dudes, dude. Alright. Patreon special. Hello and Zimwa. Hello and welcome. Zimwa. How are you doing today? Zimwa. I'm doing fantastic. Zimwa. And that's God saying it. I just saw a cross right here, which is cool. You know, but it wasn't like Jesus' cross. It was like a very nice holy cross. And for whatever reason, the left side, for whatever reason I want to call it the right side, but it's my left side, was missing. And why? Because if you think of it like this, you're able to draw and stuff like that. So Homeboy is tied down, but he's able to create a little bit. For example, I'll give you an explanation. And I would love to do this at some point in time, and I'd love to do it to people, because I can actually speak to spirits through drawings. So, let me give you an example that you can't see, and I'm not going to show you, but just listen. Okay, okay, Jordan, this is what I want you to do. I want you to focus on empathy. What does empathy mean to me? And that's, it's my ex, but it's Moshimi. Empathy to her. Space and time. You know, don't be down the throat. Give it some space to breathe. You know, if you look at a watch pot never boils, dude. You know, but you need to watch the pot a little bit to make sure it doesn't overflow. Hey, it's Death pointing, doing this, saying, hey there, wait a second, buddy. And I'm like, that's not what I mean. I want you to look up at the sky. What do you see? Endless potential through my third eye. Why? Because Kakashi Sensei is who I'm going to try to be for Halloween. Remember, I can do the 1,000 years of pain on your behind. Nah, mean. So, I'm trying to be a teacher, man. I've seen a lot of suffering, and the story goes that me and Kakashi have a lot in common, as I've seen it. I have to rewatch Naruto, at least the OG, to get Kakashi's story, or just go on YouTube, or just read up on it. I read up on it a little bit. I was like, damn, that's heavy. That's a lot of me, you know. But by Kakashi, do you mean, oh, my ex? What I have to realize, and what you have to realize, is it's not her in the present. It's her in some other time, some other space, some other reality, some other place, you know? Just as, like, imagine if you had a phone to the future, or a phone to a different dimension. That's how they're communicating. Yes, it was. You know, Kakashi, I forget her name, but it was his love. The person, like, killed her, and he got the Mangekyo. I think it's a Mangekyo Sharingan, because he killed her. Yeah, that's how I got all the curses and demons and everything like that, is because I didn't do that, but I did a form of that, and therefore cursed myself with a new eye. If you want to, you can align the things if you really want to do it. Okay, Jay, I still don't know how that aligns to me. But who is that? Moshimi, your little kissy girl. Why? Your ex, basically. How does that align to you? How does that align to you? Zemwa, yo God. Zemwa. How does it align to her? And he's like, what? Just keep smiling. Really? He's like, just keep smiling. Zemwa. Put the paper away. Zemwa. It's too much. But what I usually do for people is I say, give me your arm, and I draw it on you. And it's not that I can predict your future or stuff like that. You can ask a question, but it's more of like, it's different. So let me do myself for a hot second. I can't really do my arm, but Zimwa. But I'll try to figure something out. So Zimwa, ask a question. Zimwa. How's God doing today? I'm doing the same as usual. And the image is fucking my wife and holding it down, is what he's saying in the image. But again, it looks like this, and I'm not gonna focus the camera, but it looks like that. But the thing is, I can read it and interpret it just like any artist can with an abstract painting or something like that. That's why all of my art typically is a little bit more abstract compared to me just, you know, drawing a face in like 2 seconds. And the reason I can draw faces, and I pretty much can only draw faces, is because in a past life, I was a cashapp. Now, little story for you. If you know seppuku, the art of ritualistic suicide, when a samurai or someone committed a crime or did something that, the word isn't embarrassing, the word is like a deeper form of embarrassing, a shaming, like, you kind of get what I'm going for. I'm not going to Wikipedia it because you could do your own research. But when a person did a shame, but heavy, to their country or to the shogun or to their general or whatever, if it was severe enough, they would take their own life. And I think everybody pretty knows either harakiri or seppuku. But the person that would relieve their suffering would be the kaishikuni. And they are less known because I don't know a whole lot of people who actually know them. For all I know, it could be just like, yeah, they just are. And I'm like, all right. They, as they were doing the deed and their guts were spilling out, would not chop off their head, but it was chop off their head. They would chop off their head to relieve the suffering. So the person committing the ritualistic suicide would experience the pain, have to take their own life, and the kaishikuni would end it with a knife. A very long sword, actually. But a good kaishikuni, I have read, is a person who gracefully does it. It's like taking, it's a beautiful way how I said it, and I'm going to try to remember it. It's like taking all of the hate and anger that you have inside of yourself, seeing a piece of wood that you're about to chop with an axe, swinging it all the way down, but not splitting the wood, waiting and holding at the last second to not split the wood, taking all the anger back, reserving it, sheathing your motherfucking blade, and keeping it moving, because the purpose of it was to allow the samurai to hold their head in their hands. So it was like, dude, I'm telling you. And I just looked at myself, which is funny. He's like, dude. And I was like, dude. My dog wants to come inside, so I'll let her inside in a hot second. But the Japanese have such a way with everything. And I'm just a fucking weeb. But the Japanese have a fantastic way of doing pretty much everything. Most things, but a lot of things. Or at least I'm just a fanboy. Because I'm like, that's beautiful. Compared to, like, the electric chair. Imagine if that was how you had to, like, deuce out of life. But anyway, continuing back to the story of why I only draw heads, not necessarily see heads, but it's because in a past life, I think I was a kaishikunin. In fact, I was Death's kaishikunin, meaning the people who made it to the underworld who didn't already attest for their sins. I would take that metaphorical piece of wood and chop and stop. Now sip your gin, because I'm about to tell you something else. I saw so many heads in my past life, so many figures and forms of a head that got ingrained within me to the point where I would start drawing them and then giving them to the family or something like that. And this is me kind of off the cuff because I'm still trying to discover my personal backstory in a past life, which is the interesting part. But I would give them to the family. My dog's saying that's not necessarily true. I would hold on to them as keepsakes, give them to Death. I would draw them. Nope, still nope, still nope. Okay, so what I do? Zemwa, ask God. Zemwa. What I do? Zemwa. You have to learn more about kaishikunis because you could have existed in the past life, you know. Zemwa, just saying. Famous kaishikuni. I have it written on the back of my jacket, and most of my jackets have kaishikuni. I want to write kaishikuni because I was, but instead of using a sword, I use my sword, a pen, you know, and all the heads talk to me. It's because of my schizoaffective brain and all that stuff, but it is what it is. You can choose to believe it is magical and symbolic and spiritual, or you can choose to believe it's just Jordan going crazy in his fucking camper eventually. But that is up to you. You know, that is your discretion. That is your path, your journey. But back to it. I choose to live my life how I kind of want to. I always say reality is kind of like pasta. Well, I said this. Reality is kind of like pasta. I say reality is like a blank canvas. There is a base layer of gesso on it, which you cannot change. I cannot fly. I cannot, well, necessarily, but you can paint it in any way you want to, but there is a base to it that you cannot cross. You know, you can't make the canvas. You were given the canvas. You can paint whatever you want on the canvas. If you believe in past lives, that's what I was. And eventually, I got to the point where if you believe in the whole Hades thing and the underworld and Greek mythology, because I take little things from everything and try to piece together everything, because I feel like in every single sect and sector of religion and ideologically, maybe you know what I'm saying, in every sect of everything, there is truth. So, have you ever heard of the phrase, I'm getting about 22 minutes right now, so I need to, hurry it up, but this is important. 2 pennies for the boatman. 1 penny was for the ferryman, Karen, who would guide you across. The other penny was for me. And I'm coming up on, is it going to reset? Should reset. I just want to make sure that the camera, stays on. 1 penny was for me. I would be the dude who would doodle your face as you were walking to get on the boat to cross the river Styx to the other side. That was me. Kaisha Kunin just became an artist. Simple as that. I was practicing my skills, so when I got to the next life, I could doodle your face and hand you your portrait to see how you look at the end of the day. And usually, because I was a great businessman back, I would give you a light, I would give you a cigarette, and I would give you a hat, And those are pretty much the only 2 things I sell on the DGC at the end of the day. Just hats and cigarettes. Really? Why? Because Zimwa. Because it's funny. I also sell other things, but Zimwa. They're the easiest thing to produce. But Zimwa. It's how you start. Zimwa. Look at the camera. It's how you start, Jay. Zimwa. This boy knows everything about his entire life and doesn't want to share it. Zimwa. It's just hidden. Zimwa. The red jacket. Zimwa. The black jacket. Zimwa. And the flat jacket. Zimwa. The more you know, Jordan, the more you can show. But Zimwa. Do your motherfucking research. So Zimwa. Look up Kaisha Kunins. Because what I'm saying is, Chiefs, what if your life has a backstory before your life? Consider it. Just saying. Zimwa. There is more than you can ever know and ever perceive, but you have to have the greatest gift of all, which is hope and the ability to believe. Zimwa. Continuing. Zimwa, ladies and gentlemen, I think this is going to end it. Zimwa, I am still trying to be stupendous. I am still trying to figure out exactly what I was, am, could be, is, and am in this life and in past lives and in future lives. I've had visions, fucking everything under the sun, but it's my choice to believe it or not. Kind of sort through the cosmic goo and pull out something solid that I can believe in and chew on. So yeah. Anyway, that is it. I'll catch you guys later. Thank you for listening to the Patreon special. Make sure to donate notdudes on Venmo and Cash App if you really want to. If not for that, Patreon. $5 will get you going on. More to come. Alright. I will catch you guys later, as I said, for the 15th million time. Space Cowboys, time for my final line. Alright. That'll do just fine. Remember, Roy Lars is on Mars, smoking bars that are not Xanax or Klonopin. Remember, if you think about doing drugs, take a sip of gin. And always remember this. The truth, the secrets, everything that you want, you can keep it, but it's always been within. See you, Stardust. The bird just said king, and I'm like, kinged! DTK! Death the kid, death by J! Why? Because I make your death beautiful. I was a great Kaishikuni in the past life. I have my blades, I have my weapons, I have my swords, I have all that shit, but I gotta make it again, because what if I actually do become that, my friend? I'm trying to tell you real quick. Zimwa. Ooh, he's going off his shit. No. I'm trying to tell you, man, I was Death Kachikuni. They called me the Scarecrow because I would just make you post up like this. Spin my scythe around my finger and then do a whip. It would go around the world twice. Insane. It would end at your throat, but not nice. But I'll tell you this, I would make it tender. I would make sure death takes you first, and then I'd end you. That's my art. Deuces. I should say this. In no way is Jordan a murderer or has committed any murders or even fantasizes about murders. He just likes to think he's a badass in his life. Past life. Not even current one. I'm just trying to live up to the expectations I set for myself, son. And I'll catch you in the next one. Also, last point, big shout out to my boy Envoy Beats on Instagram, ENVOYBEATS on Instagram, and on what's it called, SoundCloud. He made this track. I'm going to use this track for pretty much everything because he's a rad dude. He's been through a lot of shit. He's been through a lot of shit that I have, and he makes awesome music. Go check him out. Honestly, link in the description as well, as always. And Space Cowboys, Cowgirls, Cow People, I'll catch y'all later. For the 15th goddamn